This is Breakfast Central, like you rightly said. Time for us to get into the stories. Let's start off our wake-up conversations this morning. And our wake-up conversation is this way. It goes this way, rather. Let's go to Osun State. That's like the first place to go to. The political tension in Osun State got heated up further yesterday as Senator representing Osun East Senatorial District, Senator Francis Fadahunsi, just take note of that name, Francis Fadahunsi, was seen in a viral video issuing death threats to members of the Accord Party found in Ilesa ahead of Saturday's Osun State governorship election. Senator Fadahunsi spoke in Yoruba while addressing supporters during a protest at the palace of the Owa Obokun of Ijesha land over what he described as incessant killings of the APC members in Ijesha land. The Imole Campaign Council, the campaign organization of Governor Ademola Adeleke, condemned Mr. Fadahunsi's statement and called for his arrest and prosecution following such insightful remarks. Meanwhile, the lawmaker representing the Osun East Senatorial District has also clarified the intention behind his now viral Kill Accord comment, circulating in a video on social media. In a statement by his media office, the senator said his viral comment was a call on supporters to overwhelmingly reject the Accord Party at the ballot box through lawful, peaceful and democratic means during the August 15 governorship election. This incident happened lately, a few hours after the police force shared its message to residents, cautioning them against wrongful conduct during the elections, assuring safety of residents during the course of the elections in the state. Well, let's not talk too much. Let's start off first with that video. And then we'll start breaking things down on what you may have missed that happened in Osun State as the election is building up. But take a look at the video that has caused so much, and then we'll look into the response.
So, at the ones of him, Titi the guy, but here, body one,
Okay, so there you have it. A senator urging its followers or his followers that anytime, anywhere you see these people ahead of the elections, kill them, unalive them. And he was bold enough to say, you can record me, okay? And then we heard people at the background saying, let's go to the market square, let's go to the market square. Let's go and tell them there that anywhere you see them, unalive them on national television. Before Olive and Benga jumps in, and then Olive has her introduction, let me also mention that the same senator was so quick to run on national TV and quickly states that he did not mean kill them. He meant kill them with votes, even though the original video did not say where, did not actually depict where he said kill them with votes. He said kill them. Secondly, after granting that statement on national television, on a news channel, he went to another news channel and then said, oh, that video is AI. Olive, welcome. What? I'm sorry.
What's going on?
What?
AI, African intelligence.
How you doing, though?
So first of all,
Bonjour les merci.
bonjour les merci. Good morning, especially to the goat who...
Go on.
Okay. There are too many things jamming in my head. I don't know whether to first of all...
You need to drink water.
to congratulate Ronaldo on his wedding yesterday or to go straight into this story. But let me go straight into the story. I'll congratulate
You want
Ronaldo
to congratulate Ronaldo in Portugal?
Long,
Meanwhile,
yes.
you'd not congratulate Pella and Jarvis.
No told you I
At
did
the
not
back of
congratulate them. People that
your backyard.
Of course I did.
Okay.
In fact, all the people that have been saying rubbish against them on social media have been eyeing them.
Okay.
No, the only reason I want to congratulate Ronaldo is for separate reasons. But let's get into this story. A sitting senator. Now, regardless of whether he's a politician or not, no Nigerian should ever be caught on camera asking another Nigerian to kill another Nigerian, first of all.
Commitment.
Secondly, this is a sitting senator, one who the citizens have entrusted their leadership to you because they esteemed you to be a person of excellent character. We're not 12. Coming on TV to then say that is artificial intelligence or saying you meant kill them with votes. The Accord Party have called for the IGP to arrest and investigate, and I support that thing with two bottles of something cold. I support that motion with cola nuts and 2 bottles of something cold. Because this is a state that has been battling insecurity, that has been battling electoral violence. The past month, it's been violence upon violence, court clashes according to the police. Yesterday, we had the Commissioner of Police on camera saying it's not politically motivated, it is attacks and reprisal attacks. And the question is, do people just wake up one day and just decide, you know what, I want to attack? There has to be a background for the attack. And from where we are sitting, what we're seeing, it is political opponents using, machinery of thuggery against each other. So there definitely is a political undertone to this. So them coming to tell us that it is not political, I don't know if I can buy that argument. That is one. Two, the question is, at this time, why has that man not been invited by the police, by the DSS? If it was a regular Nigerian that made that comment about if you see Nigerian politicians or you see this, kill them, it doesn't matter the explanation you give. That very day, at most, in the words of Iraq, the next morning, DSS will have picked up that person. Why haven't they invited this man to come and give a statement? It's not enough for him to come and say that it's artificial intelligence or he meant kill them with votes. Kill them and kill them with votes are two complete separate things, and we're not children.
That's one. Benga, you have something else to say. But
yes.
Before you drop your 2 cents, let me add something to it so that we know what we're dealing with as journalists. As if that wasn't enough, another member of the APC went ahead in a rally and made the following statement that if you are not going to vote for the APC, don't come out at all, because if you come out, it's going to be...
But is that not something? Let's
watch the video. Yeah, let's just see the video. Let's just see the video. Very, very tough one. But let's see Israel. Let's see. Okay, let's...
Me carrying talks up and down. You come to my house freely. You are here now. Where are the talks? Where are the killer squad? The one they are talking about is a policeman doing his work. They are terrorizing people there. Many of these other people have been coming here to report them. So we should listen to them because they are all my people. They are called people in Ilesa. The PD people in Ilesa. They are all my constituents. They are my own. I develop all of them. So if I say they should not listen to them when they come for vote, it doesn't mean that I ask them to kill them. If you kill, what will kill you is there. It's a serious matter when you take life. They are the people taking life. I'm not.
Okay, that's just... Benga, let's get your reaction first.
I mean, I have to say with all sense of responsibility that this is a highly irresponsible statement coming out from a member of the Nigerian Senate, Senator Fadahunsi, and I expect the remaining 108 members of the Nigerian Senate, if they have any face to save of the institution and its ethics committee, to issue a statement condemning what one of their members has done, which by implication brings the institution of the Nigerian Senate to dispute. There's no how we can twist and turn its way out of this. It's obvious. It's very open. He said it, and it's good that he's not the only Yoruba speaker in the country. because we understand. And even people with a fair understanding of Yoruba language know the implications and can translate direct translation of what he meant. And since he had the powers to say it, he should also own up and face the consequences and take responsibility for it. By jumping from one media house to the other and, trying to play smart by saying he meant kill them with votes, reminds me of the dystopian George Orwell novel, 1984, where they said the party told us to reject, the party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final and most essential command. So we have ears, we have eyes, we saw it. So we're not going to reject what we see is reality. What he's talking about is an alternate reality. It didn't mean kill them with votes. We knew what he meant. And this is a call on the DSS, the Nigerian police and security operatives, to prove that, look, we have strong institutions and not powerful individuals. Like Olive said, if this was a regular Nigerian citizen, we wouldn't even be here. I mean, there are people that have done less, that have campaigned for better welfare conditions for members of Nigerian armed forces. Remember Justice Crack? It was picked up. It wasn't inciting anything. This man, knowing the atmosphere, knowing what is going on in the country and knowing what has happened in Osun State in the past few weeks, a few days to elections, still making this sort of inciting statement.
So,
and as a sitting senator of the Nigerian Senate, it's really unfortunate and disappointing and absolutely disgraceful coming from Senator Fadahunsi. And I hope law enforcement in the next 24 hours would make us proud as Nigerians.
I agree with you, Binga. Just to give it an update, this morning we're told that the police have summoned him. They've summoned the APC senator over his statements, but this time is the Osun State Police Command. They summoned Francis Fadahunsi, the senator representing Osun East, over his now viral comment to kill Accord members. Take note, he said kill. He did not say kill with votes. Okay? They are two different things. Sometimes I wonder, when I saw that video, I said, I tried seeing the PR team, his media team, trying their best to see how they can fine-tune this story. They say, it would have been maybe, Kilabashibai, what do we do? Okay, okay, Effie with votes. Effie with votes, see, so that
the evidence is on camera.
With vote. And he went on TV. You could see how it was. I mean, you don't need to be, you just need to be an intelligent person sometimes to notice the manner in which he was responding to the questions. You could see how panicking he was, trying as much as possible to manage himself, although his heart and mind was telling him, you've messed up. And then he said, okay, you know what? What I said was kill them with votes. In the same breath, few hours later, you went on another news channel and then you said, that video is AI.
No consistency, even in your lies.
In other words, if you were to be tried immediately in court, thank God we have a lawyer in the house, you first of all laid claim to A, and then you went straight to B. That simply means that whatever happens this Saturday, should there be bloodshed or killings, either today or lead up to this Saturday, even during the elections, you will be held responsible.
The entire political class is playing with fire, and I hope we don't have a operational wet here 2.0 with the way things are going in Osun State. They signed a peace accord last week.
But
it's not even the ink on the peace accord has not even dried, and we're in this sort of inciting state. These are people's fathers and grandfathers. Very irresponsible.
There's a part I haven't gotten the exact one because I do want to look for what the terrorism laws say about this and if this would fall under acts of terrorism.
Absolutely.
Because when Nnamdi Kanu is still being detained for reasons similar, they say that he has incited people to attack other people. If you brazenly come out and tell people to kill some other people because of political reasons, you are inciting them to intimidate these people, to snuff out their right to dignity of life. And that maybe should be able to be categorized under acts of terrorism. And the same gloves with which they have treated Nnamdi Kanu should be the same gloves they used to treat people in such scenario. which leads me again to the question about what has happened to Sheikh Jenger. Yesterday, we took the story of him applauding the Muslim ticket and saying every other person is an infidel. And there have been certain calls that have been made against people who are not of the Muslim faith. Has he been picked up by the DSS yet? Or are we still going to have rhetorics? The Osun State Police Command inviting the senator to come and speak or talk about this. This is not a tea party. We're not expecting, or we're inviting him to come and talk, and after that he's going. There are laws.
There should be consequences.
There should be consequences. There should be actions. There are people who, unfortunately, will not go out to vote on Saturday because of people like this. Because at the end of the day, they weigh their life on the balance and think, well, my life is more important than these politicians and their brouhaha, so I'd rather stay at home. It is because of statements like this that our democracy is not a democracy that we're proud of. Later, we'll come out and say that ours is a nascent democracy. Our law enforcement needs to encourage and prove to Nigerians that they are really in the fight against, inequality. They're fighting against those who are enemies of our state. And if you can come out and ask anybody to kill any other person because you do not believe in the same things, electorally, religiously, or whatever, then you are an enemy of our state and you ought to face the laws. So we'll continue to follow up with this. The police has invited him. Let's see what the police will make of this next.
Olive, just to mention again, let's also make it clear that I always turn back to the work that we do here as journalists. And at News Central, we always ensure that there's fairness, there's balance in our storytelling. And so far, I recall that in the past few months, in short, years, Benga, every morning we come here, we even talk within ourselves how hard it is and difficult for us to break stories that over 100 people were killed, 80 persons were killed by XYZ terrorists, ISWAP, name them. And some of these terrorists will go as far as even making videos and telling you, listen, we're going to kill some more. Some have sent letters to communities and say, listen, we're coming and we're going to unalive as many people as possible. And guess what? Such things happen. The military is loaded with so much. The military has a lot to deal with. Nigerian security architecture, experts have said, is carrying so much right now, and they are struggling. The last thing they will need is a senator acting in the same frame with what they are fighting against.
Adding fuel to fire.
Adding fuel to fire. Because let's be honest, what's the difference between a terrorist who says, we're going to unalive you people, and one who claims
to be a lawmaker saying unalive people? Can we wait? I think he's lost his responsibility as well. He sounds like a lawbreaker. And like I said, Olive, it's not just the police that should invite him for questioning. The Senate, if they have any integrity left, should put out a statement condemning because this is from one of you. He's a product of your institution, the Senate Ethics Committee. Remember Senator Ilesa Marble?
Yes.
It was invited, and I remember the First Lady was part of the committee.
Of course.
During his sex toy shop scandal, where he was said that he harassed the lady. It was there. The camera of the entire world was there, the media. This is even a bigger issue, on a bigger scale, because it has to do with lives.
So there are many other things. Just to add to that, I mean, what you said earlier about the Senate condemning them, it's not only the Senate that should speak. He's an APC senator.
Oh, yes.
The APC should speak and condemn this. This is an APC-led administration. And the APC has been criticized and accused by their court party of masterminding the violence that's happening in Osun State, even though the APC has come out to say it's not only our court party members that have been killed, that their party members have been killed. To show that the APC is serious about democracy, if they really are, they need to speak up and condemn this statement, not align themselves with what has been said by Senator Fadahunsi. The DSS, the police need to jump in on this. And like Benga has said, the Senate needs to distance themselves from this as well.
And he should face the Senate Ethics Committee to explain himself.
Benga,
bringing the institution to disrepute.
I can ask both of you here, and if we ask Nigerians, especially those watching now, do they trust that the independency of the DSS, the police, will act without any interference, just like they will act on any other person?
Well, they have to.
The code that nobody is above the law.
they have to do their job. It's written there. They are guided by laws.
Showore has been in court for a statement he made. It was picked up. Many times it was locked. You mentioned Justice Crack. You've mentioned, so now we're seeing these are just individuals who have no ties with government or running a country or belonging to, in quotes, the incumbent. So is it going to be any different? In 48 hours, Benga Olive, we've seen rhetorical, or we've seen very horrible statements made, especially on media, publicized, published. A sheikh calling others infidel, and sadly,
In the
an
open.
essay to a minister jumps and says, yes, he's happy to be an infidel.
Yes, Larry Alliance
says, after all of us are
I don't really take it.
No,
Now, I'm sorry to
what
say,
an
but let's
absolutely
mention it here.
shameful
There are
statement.
few people we can no longer speak with again because you do not trust their stand when you see white. They don't call it white, they call it black.
I mean,
remember, we mentioned this, remember Cardinal Onayekon? I was expecting that by now, we would see our good friend, Mr. Daniel Bwala now, blowing hot. He's nowhere to be found.
Conveniently.
Nowhere to be found. Nowhere. My voice is gone. Nowhere.
Convenience or truth.
I thought by now
Let
we
me
would
read.
also see, what's his name, the ambassador to Mexico, who hasn't resumed yet.
Renault Mokri.
Let me read what Larry Alliance said for the avoidance of doubt. He said, you are an infidel. I am an infidel. We are all infidels. An infidel is someone who does not have the same religious beliefs as the person speaking. If a Muslim is the one speaking, Christians and traditional religion worshippers are infidels. If a Christian is the one speaking, Muslims and traditional religion worshippers are infidels. If a traditional religion worshipper is the one speaking, Christians and Muslims are infidels. Therefore, if you are called an infidel, it is not an insult. Simply respond by calling the person an infidel to dazzle. Then he goes on to say, this cleric by name Shafi Adeba said Muslims have right to enslave non-Muslims. He declared war against...
That's another one.
tweet.
The one
he
I
declared
told you
war
about.
against those he called infidels rooted in Islam. And he's preaching this nonsense in Yoruba land, a land of educated and civilized people with Christians, Muslims, and traditional religious worshippers living together under the same roof. Methinks people like this man should be behind our bars because extremist preachers like him caused Boko Haram that Nigeria is still battling.
Absolutely.
So this was a 10th of August tweet, both of them. So the question now is, I can understand the perspective of giving the literal definition of infidel. But the truth is, we know that this man was being, we know it's not
The context.
literal.
The context,
We know
Olive,
the context,
actually the
in
context.
which he meant infidel, especially because ours is, we're very heated. We're divided along religious lines. We're divided along ethnic lines. And so these are very sensitive topics.
And this was
the
how
Muslim
Boko Haram
ticket
started.
has been
Yes.
a very sensitive matter right from the 2023 elections that Nigerians felt like they had no choice. They just had to let it go. A number of people felt marginalized by the fact that it was a Muslim ticket. The Christians kicked against it. But eventually it prevailed, and now it's come up again. So we must be very careful in the way that we speak about certain things and jump into certain conversations. I want to take some reactions on YouTube. We're streaming live, News Central TV live on YouTube. And from there, we will head to X to take some tweets. YouTube is on fire this morning. I hope I can take as many as I can. Let me just start somewhere. Ikechukwu Victory says, my problem is the people chairing the political... Ikechukwu, I can't call him that word on TV, unfortunately. He said, so if their brothers and sisters are accord members, they'll be happy to have them killed. The senator is acting out a script. We don't know this one as well. Michael Zu says, in a Senate climb, this Fadahunsi should be suspended. But since he's acting on behalf of powers that be, Akpabio will never think of it, even if an opposition member brings it up. Shame on Nigeria's APC. Ochodi says, Senator, go explain tire, but the DSS still quiet after 20 hours, after that Sheikh Irresponsible's comment. Now, this senator, it's okay, we are watching. And Theophilus Ijoma says, a lawmaker issuing a death threat to the people he was selected to represent is a testament to the fact that everything is fair in politics, according to the Bola Tinubu. Nathan Emmanuel said, do we remember what happened in Lagos during the 2023 election, where a particular ethnic group was asked not to come out and police PRO came and defended him and said he was joking? Yes, we remember where a certain person came out and said they should not come out. Yeah, so yeah, some of the Igbos were asked not to come out, unfortunately. But they said it was a joke. And the truth is, the reason why things like this are still happening is because right from the time when this happened, the government did not take a strong stance to kick in against bigotry of any form, ethnic or religious. If at the time they told Iyashinedu and Iyashukudi not to come out to vote in 2023, there were strong punitive measures against those statements, and those statements were termed as one that was, depriving people of their right to, first of all, be Nigerians. If they had dealt with it thoroughly, maybe just maybe we wouldn't be here by now.
Very sad.
But we'll take more comments. I believe that we need to go on a very quick break. And when we come back...
Not really a break.
Oh, okay.
Let's just also highlight quickly, just like you mentioned, we would like to see what Nigerians are saying. But while we're also dealing with Sheikh yesterday, we're also dealing with the senator who has been invited by the Osun State Police. Another member, another politician, yesterday during the rally, warned, I don't know if we have the footage now, the video now, warned that people shouldn't come out. And threats were equally made. But let's take a look.
For a briefing on two major developments on the Osun political landscape. We have credible reports that a police signal has arrived in Osun directing immediate arrest of Accord party leaders. We also know the directive includes that they should be taken to Abuja immediately and should not be released until Monday. I have spoken to the Inspector General of Police about the reported directive to arrest Accord party leaders. But I am appealing to him that if this development if it is true, it is illegal and present Nigeria as a lawless country. Arresting Accord party leaders on the eve of an election amount to police helping and assisting the APC Osun to rig the election. I thank the Inspector General of Police to issue a statement to assure Nigeria that no order has been given to arrest Accord party leaders in Osun State. It is illegal and a threat to democracy for Accord party leaders to be arrested on the eve of an election on trumped charges. It is disturbing that we have over 62 Accord party leaders held in illegal police detention without any charges against them, including one of our party candidates, Alaba Bukola. This is not democracy. The second issue has to do with the viral video of a service senator Francis Fadahunsi, who today called for the killing of Accord party leaders and their families. In the video, the senator even threatened that where they cannot get Accord party leaders, they should kill their wives and children. This is now beyond politics. This is now a national security threat that requires the attention of Mr. President through the Office of the National Security Advisor. I have raised this issue with the Inspector General of Police and demanded for the immediate investigation and arrest of Senator Fadahunsi.
Well, that's the governor there who is making statements concerning the recent development there in Osun State. Guys, he's calling on the security agencies. For Nigerians, they are calling on the DSS. They've seen how swiftly the DSS has acted, especially in cases that are not up to this level or standard when it comes to call for violence and unaliving citizens. Davido, who happens to be the nephew to the governor, decided to call on Donald Trump yesterday, guys. And that also trended because everyone started, using AI to create videos of Donald Trump responding, him coming
arriving at Ede International Airport, non-existent, no?
To come and, oversee the elections. And he responded and they said, why are you calling? Why don't you call on your president? And he posted a picture of himself and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and put two country flags and said he's a citizen of the United States and also a citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He's got dual citizenship. And he kept laughing and asking them, what have you gained? Just to wrap things up from my end, I mean, for those who are willing to kill themselves, unalive themselves, just to ensure that they get power or they have their, in quotes, candidates or leaders get into the seat of power, history has always shown that even after you unalive yourself, you will never be remembered. You will never. You can go check those who fought stupidly, let's use that word, thinking it was a case of being courageous, right in front of politics. And the question many have asked is, you being told to kill, e.g., has the senator himself brought his children out to come out and join the fight in killing? That's just one question I want to ask this morning. The person asking you to go and kill, has he brought his own family members to come outside too and lead? And him talking, like they used to do back then in historic days, the king will lead the fight. Is he ready to also lead the fight in front? But he's urging you to go.
At the end of the day, just before we move to what Nigerians are saying, at the end of the day, it's a civic exercise. It's you vote your choice, I vote my choice.
It doesn't look like a civic exercise.
We debate policies, we debate issues, we debate ideas. Bring out my track record. You also say what you plan to do, and this has been reduced to we're not even talking policies. Nobody's talking about the needs of the people of Osun anymore. It's Stogri, it's all those threats of violence and all of it, which is quite unfortunate. My appeal to the politicians is that the states will outlive you. So please do what is necessary to prevent things, the breakdown of law and order by acting responsibly. Mind the sort of statements you make. The polity is already heated to a very disturbing level. I will want Nigerians to come out on Saturday to exercise your franchise without any fear.
When they are saying it's just election, this does not feel like just election. War. It's feeling like war. Yesterday, we had our correspondent Bernard was live in Osun State, and behind him we had the police, different law enforcement agents, all of them behind him, and it just felt to me, why do we have this much law enforcement agents? It was a bittersweet feeling for me. Bitter because it's a shame that in many countries, people can have elections and go about their normal day. It's like a regular day. You cast your vote, go to work, nothing is interrupted. But in Nigeria, we're not even talking about the federal elections. It's election in a state. Local government elections even get the same kind of drama. The whole place will be on lockdown because we're trying to vote. Sweet, because maybe that would encourage citizens to come out and make them feel a sense of safety, that the state prioritizes their welfare. But it is really sad, and it's a shame that this is where we are. I want to still take some comments on YouTube, but let's take some from X first, and then I'll come back to YouTube to read some more comments, to hear what Nigerians are saying about what's happening in Osun State.
On X, official DSS is tagged, and he says, won't you guys invite him for questioning and prosecution for inciting violence? That's a question, and that's what we've also seen. This one says, we need a free and fair election in Osun State. Please, which organization does one need to tag to make this possible? I beg. Imagine. Just imagine that. Ryan says, only if Nigeria has a working government. As of now, this man is meant to be suspended and under investigation. Another one says, authorizing violence and blocking people from voting is not politics. It is a direct threat to free and fair elections, and everyone involved should face serious consequences. That's another tweet. I am an indigene of Osun State, and I reside in Osun. People of Osun don't have vote of confidence in the police. Please tighten security in the state. Police should be our friends. Don't be biased, please. Imagine people calling for help. YouTube, Olive.
And that's telling police not to be biased. So let me start from the bottom. On YouTube, Chuka Ochiyama says, I really have very little sympathy for Adeleke. Shebi Naim endorsed Tinubu to come back in 2027 to continue with this very interesting...
And he hasn't changed his stance.
No, he hasn't. He's still behind President Tinubu. And Theophilus Ijoma keeps emphasizing everything is fair in politics. Ola Tinubu. Michael Su says, by Larry Olayinka standards, all Nigerians, including his boss, Wiki, and the overall master, we are all infidels. Bravo, Larry Olayinka, the 21st century infidel. Interesting. Mokia Chukwemeka says...
Self-acclaimed.
Exactly.
Infidel.
Which party makes those derogatory statements? The APC? And to Larry, I'm not surprised at his utterances. Did Bayo Onanuga say anything about the Islamic cleric? Not that I know of. I haven't seen that yet. Anthony says, justice in Nigeria is selective. It's sad to say, but I don't see anything wrong, anything coming out from the police invitation or the senator facing the full wrath of the law. I weep for my country. Annie Chinedu Brown says, Olive, please go... Okay, this is a compliment. It says I should go to 4 different studios to take pictures, and my outfit is out of Nigeria's today's standard. Thank you so much, Annie Chinedu. You've made me smile because this news is very annoying. But thank you so much. Oyedokun Olaide says, good morning. Look, the killing in Osun is countless, and this will continue because this is what... Well, we can't say that. Unfortunately, I can't read this on air. I'm sorry. Lilian Oloha says this, and I think I'll put a pin on the comments for now. Lilian Oloha says, Olive, they will not allow him to face the law. This was same experience some Igbos and people who look Igbo experienced in Lagos in 2023 elections. They know who they were, yet nothing happened. This is the sentiment that many Nigerians have, that nothing will come out of this. And I want to beg, appeal to law enforcement in Osun State. I want to appeal to the federal government to ensure that Nigerians are proven wrong, that the Nigerians who seem to have lost faith in law enforcement being able to hold people accountable for their wrongful actions, that they see that indeed there still are laws in Nigeria, that these laws are being followed, and that everyone, including the government of the day, is particular about our democracy being upheld. Do we have time for our second story, or do we go to our
Not really.
stories?
Is that all the comments you've taken?
Well, there are a number of comments, but I do not know. If we have time, I can still take more comments. Producers, do we have more time?
Let's take 2 more.
Okay, let's take a few more. OA says, democracy is not working in Nigeria under this APC government. I think we should rethink the kind of government we want in Nigeria. Much later today, when we're looking at the papers, one of the stories on the headline is former President Olusegun Obasanjo saying the same thing about the kind of democracy we have and how that's not really working. But we'll take that much later. Osayende says, God is trying to help Nigerians, but Nigerians are not helping themselves. What more do you expect God to do by allowing these bunch of inhuman people to expose themselves in public? Osa says, I have a question. Can we still call him distinguished after all what he said? Valid question.
You know, someone had asked on this program, and when he came, he said we should. One of our guests said, please, can we remove distinguished whenever we speak to these senators? That they were actually elected to get there. So what distinguishes them? It's the
same way that Peter Obi at the last election said, for you to be called Your Excellency, the mode of your getting into power must have been excellent. It's the same way.
Your conduct should be excellent.
Distinguished senators should act very distinguished. This is not a very, very distinguished...
I expect not to preempt the Senate Ethics Committee, but going by the evidence that is before them, I expect to see a suspension of Senator Fadahunsi. Anything less than a suspension would be a travesty
Unfortunately.
of justice, and it would rub off wrongly on the institution of the Senate.
Anyway,
I don't really have much hope.
Elisha Mabo was suspended.
Yeah.
Wenga,
The senator, the lawmaker that slapped a taxi driver, was he suspended?
No, really.
I doubt.
He wasn't. He wasn't.
I think it's a pick and choose
But the
situation.
police, just to mention as we wrap this up, the Nigerian police force has warned against electoral violence. They have a press release out. They announced security arrangement for Osun State governorship election. Just to mention there, the Nigerian police force, under the leadership of Inspector General of Police, IGP Olatunji Rilwan Disu, they have it on the screen, warns political parties, candidates, supporters, and the public that the Osun State governorship election scheduled for Saturday must be peaceful. Anyone who attempts to disrupt the process through violence, like what we just saw and heard, intimidation, like what we just saw and heard, or thuggery, like what we just saw and heard, will face the full weight of the law. We're waiting for that full
weight of the law. So kudos to the police for putting this out. Well done. They've done the right
But
thing.
make
by
examples of people.
Exactly. By giving everyone a heads up to know that if you do anyhow, you see anyhow. But someone has already done anyhow. So let's wait to see if you will really see anyhow.